In the New York, a thick fog covers the harbor as the ferry moves into the night. Then comes a creepy whistle, not from the ship, but from something hiding in the dark. Once a cheerful cartoon mouse of the steamboat, now a bloodthirsty killer is back to Screamboat, and no one is safe on the water. Let's dive into the chaos and uncover the secrets of survival. In the opening scene, two ferry workers, Dom and Neil, are repairing the engine late at night. A sudden disturbance fills the air as if someone else is nearby. As Dom looks around nervously, she feels a slap, but the one behind it remains unseen. Suddenly, a strange, eerie whistle echoes through the darkness. Neil investigates but is quickly attacked by something unseen. Blood splatters. Dom runs to escape but slips on Neil's flesh and falls into a drum. Screeches are seen within the drum, and a strange, horrifying, mouse-like creature reveals its face. Something evil has boarded the boat. Then we see a girl running, who is Celine, the main character of this film. Celine is running towards Staten Island, where she meets Pete. Here, it is revealed that Celine has escaped from a birthday party. Pete sends Celine towards the boat, but a group of girls arrives, the same group Celine was running away from. This group includes the birthday girls Cindy, Bella, Ariana, Jazzy, and Rory. After that, we see all the passengers boarding the boat. Meanwhile, radio operator Mike instructs Captain Bill to suspend the ferry service for a few hours due to fog, but Bill is not agreeable to this. The ferry sets sail. The group of girls reaches the boat, where a child, Mateo, is present with his mother, Moses, and Barry, who is sleeping on his seat when EMT Amber approaches him. Amber starts taking out supplies from her bag to check Barry's blood and sugar levels, and it's noticeable that something furry is sitting under the seat, though it's not clear. Meanwhile, Barry warns Amber that everyone will die tonight, which Amber dismisses as just Barry's irrational thinking. After that, we see Selena and Pete enjoying the view of the Statue of Liberty. Then, we see a boy wearing a cartoonish costume entering an empty section of the boat where there are no passengers. He starts taking drugs, and suddenly he hears the same whistling sound that Dom and Neil heard. The boy gets up to investigate, turns back, and sees his mask on the ground. The mask then stands up, revealing smart furry legs underneath. The boy gets scared. The mask then falls into a storage room. Seeing this, the boy tries to run, but the monster injures his leg and brutally thrusts part of the costume into the boy's skull, which comes out of his cheek, and the boy dies. Cindy's group reaches the closed bar. Selena, upon hearing them, heads towards the washroom instead, where it seems like someone is watching her. As she tries to open the washroom door, someone places a hand on her shoulder, who turns out to be Amber, giving Selena her sketchbook. However, after Amber leaves, Selena throws the sketchbook into the trash. Meanwhile, we see the killer monster's legs visible under the washroom, devouring the flesh of a body. Then, we see Cindy's group taking photos, but they're being too pushy with Selena, so she gets annoyed and walks away to the corridor. Meanwhile, a cop enters the base hall and notices the shadow of the monster mouse. As the cop looks around, the mouse hits his foot with a hammer, causing him to fall. The furry monster then strikes the cop's hand with a hammer. The cop is shocked to see monster. Selena hears the cop's screams and peeks to see the mouse monster hanging the cop over the sea. The mouse shoves the cop into the boat's fan. As the mouse turns towards Selena, who is frightened, its heart starts racing. Selena screams upon seeing the creepy monster and the mutilated cop. The monster then throws the cop's body into the water and flees. Then Diaz, Amber, Tommy, and Pete arrive. Selena tells them about a furry, monstrous creature and brutal murder of a cop, but they don't believe and take her away. The scene shifts to Bill, who is looking around when the monster mouse suddenly attacks him and cuts his throat with a wire, killing him. After a while, Tommy, Diaz, and Pete arrive. They see Bill's scattered body, and blood is splattered everywhere. Tommy, now the captain, orders his first mate, Pete, to move all passengers to the lower level of the boat. Then the monster turns towards Jazzy and Bella, who appear to be striking strange poses. The mouse monster sits in a mini-craft and switches on the light, which seems perfect to the girls. But just as they strike the final pose, the monster drives the craft and shoves its metal part into the mouths of Jazzy and Bella, killing them instantly. At this point, Amber arrives and sees the monstrous creature with her own eyes. She then goes to discuss it with Selena. Meanwhile, Pete comes, lifting all the passengers to take them to the lower level, and joins Selena and Amber. Then they head together to the lower deck, but the door there is jammed. Inside the deck, Diaz tells everyone about the monster mouse, which causes panic among the people. Diaz is giving a speech, urging everyone to unite and eliminate the creepy monster, but suddenly a knife comes out of nowhere and strikes Diaz in the throat. It was the same monster mouse that killed him. Now that creepy monster is standing in front of everyone, and they all rush forward to kill it. But before they can attack, the monster picks up a water pipe and sprays it over everyone. Due to the water pressure, everyone starts to fall. Not only that, but the monster then strikes the power supply with the pipe, causing electricity to pass through the water and shock all the passengers. On the other side of the jammed door, Rory grabs the door, and she also gets electrocuted. Selena, Amber, and Pete are witnessing all of this, but despite wanting to help, they are unable to do anything. Fortunately, Mateo had been saved from the electric shock, so he remains silently hidden in the kitchen, where the monster passes by, but doesn't notice him. Moses was also saved and now takes Mateo along with him. Then we see Jamie approaches a cop to inform him about the chaos. The cop steps forward and begins to investigate. But Jamie had not come just to report the chaos. She had actually come to seduce the cop amidst the chaotic situation. Apparently, Jamie thought that flirting before facing the bloodthirsty monster or death was the true purpose of life. While this is happening, the monster sees them and attacks with a knife, killing them both. Meanwhile, Selena, Pete, and Amber go upstairs and meet Mateo and Moses, while Cindy stays behind. The scene shifts to Tommy, who is in the control room doing repairs. He asks Pete for a screwdriver, but instead the monster mouse is present there and hands him a pillar. Tommy then asks for a hammer again, and the monster steps in front of him and strikes him with a TV, killing Tommy instantly. Meanwhile, Cindy is moving through the boat, searching for signals. At the same time, Selena and the remaining survivors enter the control room and find Tommy dead. Suddenly, someone grabs Selena's leg. It's Barry. It turns out Barry has also survived. As Cindy continues moving ahead, the monster follows behind her. She reaches the spot where her friends were murdered. There, she sees a photo of Jazzy has the monster in the background. Upon seeing this, Cindy reacts in a visibly disturbed manner. In front of her, she sees the mask of the boy in the cartoon costume. When Cindy picks it up, the boy's severed head falls out of it. Nearby, the dead body of her friend is also hanging, and right in front of her, the monster itself appears. It grabs an arrow and starts chasing Cindy, who quickly runs out through a door and shuts it behind her, thinking that she is now safe. But a monster is still a monster. It shoots the arrow through the door, piercing Cindy's abdomen, killing her instantly. On the other side, Barry has a photo of the monster and a captain. He tells everyone the tale of the steamboat, saying that in the 1960s, there was a very kind-hearted captain named Walter, whom people called Walt. One day, he finds a cage on the lower level of the boat containing a cartoon-like creature named Willie, an experiment designed to entertain people. Walt frees Willie from the cage and they become friends, spending time together. However, tragedy strikes one day and Willie is gone. People say it was just an urban legend, a figment of Walt's overactive imagination. Now, 90 years later, Willie has returned, but not as a cartoon character. Instead, he's a bloodthirsty monster killer. Selena thinks this might be the same boat from Willie's story. However, Barry clarifies that it's likely just parts from that boat, recycled over time. Then we see Roscoe inspecting the pipeline area when suddenly he hears the sound of something falling, followed by whistling. As he approaches the source, he finds an open gas pipe, which causes his eye to melt, and then the monster Willie appears and kills him. Later, a cop arrives, and upon seeing the monster Willie, fires at him. But none of the bullets hit Willie. However, one bullet hits the diesel tanks, causing diesel to spill everywhere. Willie sets the area on fire, and the cop gets burned to death. Just then, the power goes out, plunging everything into darkness. The survivors group go down to get flares. For this, Pete, Moses, and Mateo head to the engine room, while Selena and Amber go towards the pipelining. In the engine room, Pete and Moses investigate and encounter Dom, whom Pete is surprised to see is alive. Dom takes Pete and Moses with her, but as they're inspecting the area, Dom suddenly hits Moses on the head with a metal object. Pete is shocked by Dom's actions. Dom then appears in front of them, wearing monster-like spines, and confesses that she's now working for Captain Willie. We come to know that Willie and Dom are searching for something in the sea, and no one can stand in their way. Anyone who comes in their path will be killed. Now we come to Selena and Amber. They navigate the pipe, moving quietly. As they shine a torch, they're met with a horrific sight. Monster Willie feasting on dead bodies. They try to move forward quietly, but a sharp object pierces Amber's foot, causing her to scream out in pain. The monster turns towards the scream, but Selena quickly covers Amber's mouth to silence her. Nearby, there's an emergency supplier, and Selena rushes towards it. Meanwhile, Amber puts a screw in her mouth to try and remove the nail from her foot. Just as Selena is about to open the box, the monster Willie approaches her, offering her flowers, and Selena screams upon seeing him. Amber seizes the opportunity to distract the monster by stabbing a screw into its eye, causing Willie to pounce on her. However, Selena hits him with a stick, and the monster flees the scene. In the engine room, Crazy Dom shows that she has gathered all the boat's flares and is holding them. She then hits Pete hard. Just then, the monster Willie arrives, and Dom rushes to him. Willie removes the screw from his eye. Here we get to know that Dom follows all of Willie's orders, locking doors and blocking the engine as instructed. Despite following all his commands, the monster Willie attacks Dom. Pete tells Moses to escape, but Moses fires a weapon at the tank behind the monster, causing a fire to erupt and the leakage of water into the boat. Do you think Willie might have gotten caught in the fire as well? Let's see. Pete and Mateo are standing in a confined space. Selena and Amber approach them and try to move a heavy metal object to rescue Pete and Mateo. However, the area starts flooding with water. The monster arrives and hits Pete's leg. With great difficulty, they manage to pull Mateo out, but Pete stays behind to confront the monster Willie. He orders the three to escape, and Amber leaves, but Selena refuses to go, urging Pete to come out quickly. Pete fights the monster Willie, and Selena watches as Pete sacrifices himself to the monster right before her eyes. Amber returns and takes Selena away, who is exhausted after witnessing Pete's death. Amber goes to find something to warm Selena up, but she sees that the monster Willie is still alive, so she quickly runs back. Selena becomes curious about what the monster wants, and Mateo hands her the photo that Barry had, a photo of Willie. Mateo mentions that his mother used to say, "When nothing else works, try love." Selena opens the photo fully and sees another mouse with Willie, wearing a dress similar to Selena's handbag. This suggests that the mouse was lost at sea, and the monster Willie is searching for her. That's why Monster Willie would give loving gestures whenever he saw Selena, thinking she was his lost mouse. Now, Selena has an idea. Amber urges Selena to leave the place quickly, but Selena asks Amber to take Mateo and goes inside alone. She takes out the costume of Willie's wife from a box and puts it on. Amber reaches the edge of the boat with Mateo and signals for help to an approaching boat. However, the monster catches up to them, and Amber prepares to face the monster. As Willie overpowers Amber and stabs her with a knife, he is distracted by a voice calling out to him. When he turns, he sees Selena standing in front of him, wearing the mouse costume, pretending to be his beloved mouse. Selena was trying to trick Willie into thinking she was his beloved mouse. Upon seeing Selena, the bloodthirsty monster suddenly becomes shy, and Selena tells him to come closer. As he approaches, Selena hits him with a sledgehammer, causing him to stumble, but he manages to escape the full impact. Selena rushes towards Amber, but the monster Willie grabs Mateo. Selena tries to stop him, but he pushes Mateo into the sea. Selena rushes to save him and slips, but manages to get caught on the boat. Just as the monster Willie is about to hit Selena with an iron rod, he is hit with a flashback of his mouse falling off the boat and him not being able to save her. Instead of killing Selena, Willie grabs the rod and pulls her up. He then offers Selena a flower. As Amber approaches, scolding Willie, he turns towards her, giving Selena an opportunity to stab him in the head with scissors, killing him. As morning breaks, Mateo is about to sink in the sea, but is rescued shortly after. Mateo's father thanks Selena and Amber for saving his son. The three survivors finally receive help. Later, Mateo brings Selena the sketchbook he had found in the water. However, in a surprising twist, the monster Willie is shown to be alive, whistling because his mouse has joined him. Then, we hear Pete calls out to radio operator Mike for help, revealing that Pete had also miraculously survived the encounter with monster Willie. With that, Mike rushes to help Pete, marking the end of the movie. So, dear viewers, how did you like this recap? Do let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting updates. Thank you.